Welcome, Dr. James Beckett, Sports Card Insights, special, very short episode. I want to thank my sponsors, especially Topps, because I'm going to talk about the Topps 75th anniversary top 75 cards they announced, including their top 10. I will address that. I was listening to Jeff Wilson's show and others who weren't pleased. A lot of room for improvement. I agree. There is room for improvement, but there's additional information not known, and I don't think I'm betraying any confidences, just to let you know some things you maybe hadn't considered. Again, thank you, Topps, Heritage Auctions, Huggins Scott Auctions, Mike Stadium Sports Cards, Burbank Sports Cards, ComC.com, and Beckett Media, Beckett Grading, Beckett Authentication. Number one, do not forget this Topps 75th anniversary is associated with the 2026 Topps Flagship baseball product, intended to draw attention to that. These will be redemption cards inside the pack. So it's a connection to that. And so some of the other comments I make, you'll see why that makes a little more sense than what you thought. Number two, I think I was the second oldest person on the panel, and I believe I'm a young soul. I understand the history of the hobby, but it was one vote out of, I think, 15 or 20. Number three, there were no Bowman or Stadium Club or Heritage or any of these other brands under the Topps umbrella. They were not considered. I asked about Bowman, and that's been brought up that there's some outstanding cards, but the orders were to make it just Topps. Again, it was going to go in the 2026 Topps Flagship product. Number four, I was the one that brought up Sy Berger's legacy, that Willie Mays was his favorite player. Again, I was just one vote, and I don't think I had that much sway, but Mays, perhaps in deference to Sy Berger's memory and legacy, was given lofty status as the number two. I don't think it is the number two in many senses, but perhaps that was the thinking. Again, 52 Topps is truly iconic set. Over-representation there makes a lot of sense. Number five, I think there was a bias toward base/flagship sets from the past. Again, this was going to be inserted in that, and so that made a lot of sense to me. Number six, I think this is more of an industry list than a hobby list. If it would be a hobby list, you would have seen a lot more hobbyists, but they were industry dignitaries, insiders, Topps, and Fanatics, both represented there. And that's the way I look at it. This is an industry list more than a hobby list. With a hobby list, you see what the hobbyists think. And as such, number seven, it was underweighted, I believe, in terms of youth participation, true collectors. Number seven, the Skenes card, a lot of criticism about that, but that truly was a landmark. And that actually also represents Fanatics, not just Topps. This is a Fanatics ownership of Topps in the 75th anniversary. And Skenes, the $1 million price, and I'm not saying there's shill bidding going on for that card, but it was a very noteworthy corporate purchase, a marketing expense of a card, but somebody bid them up. Whether it was manipulated, but that $1 million threshold really got a lot of attention. That was the buzz. Again, I was just one vote, but there was some feeling that deserved prominence. Number eight, the definition of iconic is not universal. The word icon is about pictures, iconography, and being iconic. A picture needs to come to mind. I've mentioned in other episodes how I determine that. I look at the set. Number nine, when you mention the player, I need to be thinking immediately and seeing a picture of the best card for that player, at least for that year, maybe for his whole career. Frequently, that's his rookie card. And in some of these cases, which is number 10, 84 Topps Mattingly is not what you think about when you think about the primary rookie for Don Mattingly. Same thing with Ken Griffey. They weren't necessarily downgraded. It's just when you think of a Griffey rookie card, it's a distant second beyond the 89 Upper Deck. Same thing with Bo Jackson. Same thing with Derek Jeter. Iconic players, high demand, but their Topps cards were not what you picture. Number 11, I actually suggested a top 12. Interestingly, I have evidence that the top 12 would have included the 2011 Trout and the 1985 McGwire Team USA, which some people said those really should have been in there. I agree, but only listing 10. Then lastly, if you want to have a more accurate vote, and this is just process, I did not see other people's votes. They didn't see my votes. Now, we had a conference Zoom, and so I could say some things, but if I would have been able to see all the people's votes, the process would be more open and transparent. Yet I wasn't the boss. Like I said, I was one vote. Nat Turner was one vote. several other really sharp people. I'm not denying that. It's just that if I'd seen their votes, I would know their perspective. And I'm sure many of them were leaning heavily toward vintage. Nothing wrong with that. That's part of the legacy of Topps. Anyway, that's it. Short episode. Thank you very much. Thanks, content creators out there to take hobby events and dissect them. And I'm just adding a little frosting on top of that cake. So thanks, everybody, and see you tomorrow.
Is doing